Welcome back, students. Myself Shital Mahadev, and today we are going to learn about tides, Module 1. Students, before we start the lesson, let's discuss learning objectives and keywords. In Module 1, we are going to learn about centrifugal force, gravitational force, occurrence of tides, types of tides, effects of tides. Students, before we start the lesson, let's know about 5 important oceans on the earth. The earth is known as the blue planet because 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water. There are 5 largest oceans in the world. The Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean, covering more than 30% of the earth. This is close to half of the water on the earth. The Atlantic Ocean is the second largest and saltiest ocean on the earth. The Indian Ocean is the third largest ocean surrounding a densely populated region. It contains additionally 20% of water on Earth's surface. In 2000, the Southern Ocean is the newest ocean recognized by the International Hydrographic Organization or IHO. It borders Antarctica completely. Fifth is the Arctic Ocean. It is the world's smallest and shallowest ocean of all 5 oceans. It is the coldest and least salty ocean. Let's discuss what is gravity. The earth attracts every object near it towards itself because of the gravitational force. The center of mass of the earth is situated at its center. So the gravitational force on any object due to the earth is always directed towards the center of the earth. Because of this force, an object falls vertically downwards on the earth. Similarly, students, if you throw a stone vertically upwards, this force tries to pull it down and reduces its velocity. Due to this constant downwards pull, the velocity becomes zero after a while. The pull continues to be exerted and the stone starts moving vertically downwards towards the center of the earth under its influence. According to Newton's law of gravitation, every object attracts every other object. Thus, if the earth attracts the moon towards itself, the moon also attracts the earth towards itself with the same force. Students, have you ever imagined why doesn't the moon fall towards the earth? Let's understand the reason behind this. According to Newton's law of gravitation, the force of the gravitational pull is directed towards the center when the earth pulls an object towards it. Hence, all objects are attracted towards the center of the earth. The gravitational force of the earth also acts on the moon, because of which it moves around the earth. Similar situation exists for artificial satellites orbiting the earth. The moon and the artificial satellites orbiting the earth, but they never fall. This because of the velocity of the moon and the satellites along their orbits. If this velocity was not there, they would have fallen on the earth. Let's learn about centripetal and centrifugal force. In the given diagram, centripetal force and centrifugal force is shown. Students, imagine that you attach a small toy car to the piece of a string. Hold the string in your hand and start to rotate it in a circular motion. For objects undergoing in circular motion, the net force is in the outer side. It is a centripetal force. Centripetal means a center seeking. The car has a tangential velocity. If you cut the string, the car will fly off in the direction of its tangential velocity. But if you continue to rotate the string, the car's tangential velocity is constantly changing directions. It means that the car is accelerating. The reason of accelerating is due to the centripetal force acting on a car is constantly directing the car continuously towards the center of a circle, which is your hand. This combined with the car's velocity keeps the car moving in a circle. This movement of the car in circle is a centrifugal force. In short, students, in this particular activity, your hand, which is moving continuously, is acting as a centripetal force, and the car, which is moving in a circular motion and which is away from the center, act as a centrifugal force. Students, let's discuss the relation between centrifugal and gravitational force. As we all know that the earth rotates around its own axis for 24 hours. Due to its rotation, the earth gets a type of power or force. This force works away from the center. It is called centrifugal force. Students, observe the given diagram which represents centrifugal force and gravitational force. In the given diagram, 3 circles are given. These 3 circles represent the earth. In the first and second image, centrifugal force is shown with the help of outward arrows. In the third image, point M represents the center of the earth. Point G represents gravitational force and point C represents centrifugal force. Due to centrifugal force, any object on the earth would be thrown into the space. However, the gravitational force is working towards the center of the earth at the same time. This force is many times greater than the centrifugal force. Hence, any object on the surface of the earth remains at the place where it exists. Students, let's discuss few more examples of centripetal and centrifugal force. Do you know the roller coaster track provides centripetal force to roller coaster, which preventing to move roller coaster away from the circle. The next example is banking of the roads. When the car turns in a circular motion to remain in curved track, it needs a centripetal force. Friction between tires and road provides necessary centripetal force. The car can be slipped from its track if the friction between tires and road is not in proper manner. This usually happens when the road is wet and even when there is a rainy season. This problem can be solved by banking of the roads. Students, banking means raised outer edge of the road. Banking becomes the component of vehicle's weight to provide necessary centripetal force. This banking helps to make driving safe. The another example is washing machine dryer. This dryer is a spinner with holes in its wall. When this spins with a high speed, water of wet clothes forced out through holes due to lack of centripetal force. One more example is cream separator. Students, in modern plants or factories, to control the fat content of many products, separators are used. Here, milk plant is shown. Inside the milk plant, skimmed milk is collected at outer wall of the separator and buttermilk fat pushed towards the center. Students, in this example, heavier contents of the milk move outward because of centrifugal force, and the light contents like butter fat pushed towards the center because of centripetal force. Now let's discuss about tides. Tides are movements of seawater occurring daily and regularly. The level of seawater changes after a specific period of time. After every 12 hours and 25 minutes, a cycle of high tide and low tide gets completed. Tides are actually waves, the biggest waves on the planet, and they cause the sea to rise and fall along the seashore around the world. Tides exist because of the gravitational pull of the moon and the sun, but vary depend on where the moon and the sun are in relation to the ocean as the earth rotates on its axis. This regularly occurring event appears to be quite simple and natural. However, it is directly related to the sun, the moon and the earth and the gravitational and centrifugal forces that interact between them. Factors responsible for the tides. The following factors are responsible for the occurrence of tides. The gravitational pull of the moon and the sun as well as that of the earth. Revolution of the earth around the sun and indirect revolution of moon around the sun. Centrifugal force generated due to the rotation of the earth. Now let's discuss how tides occur. Because of the moon is closer to the earth than the sun, it has the most influence on the tides. The gravitational pull of the moon causes the oceans and the other major water bodies to bulge out towards the moon. When the gravitational pull is on its highest point, the result is high tide, which is the highest level of the tide. When the pull is at its lowest point, we see low tide or the lower level of the tide. The earth itself is also pulled towards the moon, but with less strength. This happens because of the centrifugal force. This pulls the earth away from the water on the opposite side of the earth, making the water on that side bulge as well. Students, observe the given diagram. In the diagram, you can see that where the moon is facing the water bodies on the earth, there is a high tide. Similarly, the earth is also attracted towards the moon because of the gravity of the moon. That is why you can experience or observe in the diagram that during the high tide, opposite side of the earth also experiences high tide. Where the gravitational pull of the moon is low, we can see or observe low tide. Similarly, from the opposite side of the earth, we can also experience the low tide. Meanwhile, the earth is rotating, so we experience tide throughout a day. Types of tides. As the timing of the tide varies every day, the range of a tide also keeps on changing. Generally, the highest high tide occurs on full moon and new moon days, whereas on the days of the first and the third quarter, the highest tide is at its minimum. Spring tides and neap tides are the two types of tides. Spring tide. Students, observe the given diagram. In the diagram, new moon day is shown. On new moon day and full moon day, the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon act in the same direction. It is shown in the diagram with the help of red arrows. Hence, the tide of these days is much higher than the average high tide. It is also called high tide. Similarly, the opposite of the earth also experiences low high tide because of the low gravitational pull of the sun and the moon. As the bulge at the high tide is greater, the water at low tide decreases much more. The water level during spring tide is higher than the average high tides and lower than the average low. Neap tide. While revolving around the earth, the moon makes a right angle with respect to the earth and the sun twice a month. This position occurs on the first and the third quarter of each month. On both these days, the forces of both the sun and the moon operate at right angles on the earth. Students, observe the given diagram. In the diagram, gravitational pull between the moon and the earth as well as gravitational pull between the sun and the earth is shown. At the places where the sun causes high tide, the gravitational pull of the moon, which is at right angles, also act on the sea water. It means that the moon makes an angle of 90 degrees. Because of this right angle, the sun and moon both attracts sea water on the earth at the same time. Due to such conditions, the water level rise is less than usual at the time of high tide. Similarly, fall in water level is less than usual at the time of low tide. This is because the attraction of the sun and the moon are not complementary. It means that both the sun and the moon are not in a straight line. When they are in straight line, the gravitational pull is much more. But when the moon is making right angle with respect to the sun and the earth, the gravitational pull is less than usual. Such tides are called neap tides. Neap tides are a little lower than the average high tides and little higher than the average low tides. Students, now let's know about tidal zone. The tidal zone, also known as seashore. It is the area that is above water level at low tide and under water level at high tide. This area can include several types of habitats with various species of life, such as sea stars, sea urchins, and many species of coral. Now let's understand what is intertidal range. The difference in the water level of the high tide and the low tide is called tidal range. In open seas, this range is about 30 cm. However, towards the coastal areas, it goes on increasing. Students, along the coast of peninsular India, the range is around 100 to 150 centimeter for most of the part. The peninsula is in the shape of a vast inverted triangle of India, which is bounded by oceans. Students, observe the map of India. Indian peninsula is bordered by the Arabian Sea, the Indian Ocean and the Bay of Bengal. The highest tidal range in the world is observed at Bay of Fundy along the Atlantic coast of North America. Here, the tidal range is about 1,600 centimeter. In India, the highest tidal range is in the Gulf of Khambat, which is in Gujarat. Students, observe the map. In the map, the Gulf of Khambat is shown. Here, the tidal range is about 1,100 centimeter. Students, let's discuss effects of tides. Tide is helpful for fishing activity. The tides clear the waste and the coast become clean. Ports do not get filled with sediments. Students, sediment is a solid material that is moved and deposited in a new location. It can consist of rocks and minerals as well as the remains of plants and animals. Sediment moves from one place to another through the action of wind or water. So students, ports do not get filled with sediments. Ships can move up to the ports during high tide. Tides help to obtain salt. The tidal force can be used to generate electricity. Lack of knowledge about tides may cause accidents. So students, during high tides, we have to take precautions. We have to avoid to go in ocean water during high tides. The tides help in maintaining the mangroves and the coastal biodiversity. Students, mangroves means various tropical evergreen trees or shrubs that grow in shallow coastal water. So tides helps to maintain mangroves and the coastal biodiversity. Students, timing of the tides changes daily. The tides are continuously occurring phenomena. After reaching the maximum water level during high tide, the low tide sets in. Similarly, after reaching the lowest water level during low tide, the high tide sets in. Remember students that there is high tide and low tide twice a day. The time difference between two high tides is of 12 hours and 25 minutes. Students, now let's discuss what we learned today. Today we learn about centrifugal force and gravitational force and how these two forces are responsible for the formation of tides. We also learn what is tide and how tide occurs. We study two types of tides, such as spring tide and neap tide. Students, at the end of our session, I am giving you few questions. Please read the lesson carefully and write the answers of these questions in your notebook. Students, I hope this session helps you to enhance your knowledge about tides. Thank you.